Hi, welcome to our assembly for today. It's Friday, and I know you guys have all had a bit of a strange week because we thought that we were going to be okay playing with friends from different classes on the field and on the playground, and we've had to go back to being in class bubbles. But I've been talking to all of your teachers, I've been walking around school, and I am so super proud of everybody for the way that you've all behaved, how sensibly you've looked after yourselves, looked after each other, and how you've responded to all of this. Now, hopefully, we're only going to be in our class bubbles for a very short space of time while we make sure that people are getting better again from COVID. Nobody else is catching COVID, catching coronavirus. And then we'll be back to playing with everybody else out on the field and everything. And in the meantime, I know that you are going to be super sensible and do all the things that your teachers tell you to. And that's kind of what we were doing with our assembly on Wednesday, because we were talking about trying our best. And we try our best in lots of different ways. So the teachers are trying their best to teach you and to keep you safe. And I'm trying my best to make sure that you guys are all safe in school and that everything is okay. Now, we talked a little bit on Wednesday in the assembly about, or Monday even, about how sometimes you might not get it right first time, or you might not succeed at something. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to read you a bit of a book, because like we always say, books are really cool and we love a good book. But I'm going to talk to you about somebody who found something really difficult and found a way around it, and found a way to manage it. A pretty cool person. And then there's a bit of a music for you afterwards. Okay, so here we go. Let's present my screen. Kindle. Okay, so this is Elton John. Now, you might know some of Elton John's songs, or mums or dads or grandparents might know some of Elton John's songs. And I reckon if you were to hear them, you might go, hey, who's that? But I reckon if you to actually hear them, you go, oh, yeah, of course, because he's mega famous and he's been around for a long time. So, who's Elton John? What's he done? Now, this is the story of a little boy from the London suburbs who once sat at the piano and started playing a waltz just by ear. Imagine that, being able to go to a piano and just play the music, not needing to learn it, not needing to read the music, read all those dots and squiggles on the staves, but he was just able to pick it up and play it by listening to the record and then playing it on the piano. And that's called playing by ear, so that you don't need to be told what keys to press. And his name was Reggie. And from that day on, whenever his parents argued, music became his refuge. So if his parents were all being grumpy, a bit shouty, he would go and play his music and he would feel better. So music is one of those things that makes us feel really, really good. If I'm feeling in a bad mood, I often have a sing. It makes me feel happy. Now, Reggie received a scholarship to study classical music at the Royal Academy of Music. And that means that people paid for him to go and learn music because they thought he was such a talent. And by singing in the choir and playing with other musicians, he discovered what music is all about. It's about bringing people together. So that was the big thing. It was about bringing people together. Now, if you look at all those different instruments, there's Reggie playing the piano. There's a guy at the back playing the cymbals. There's somebody with a trumpet and somebody with a flute, somebody with a violin, somebody with a cello. You can't make that sound with just one person. You've got to have lots of different people to make that sound. It's about that teamwork. And if you were going to start and you had all those instruments, so piano, cymbals, flute, trumpet, violin, cello, 6 instruments, and you had them all in front of you, and you started to make a noise, it'd be terrible, because you can't do it. You need to have other people. So to do your best in this band, Reggie needed to have other people along with him. Now, Reggie started composing his own melodies, his own tunes, and singing rock and roll hits with the band. And one day he saw an advert from a record company looking for new talent, and he decided to go to the audition. So he was already playing with a band. Reggie didn't do very well that day. Now, that's the thing. He didn't do very well that day. He went to the audition and they said, no, thanks, not interested. So at that point, he could have given up. And this is the point about doing your best, that we talked about how you have to keep going at it. You have to keep practicing at doing your best. Reggie didn't do very well that day, but he didn't stop. He left the tryout with an envelope full of lyrics from a guy named Bernie. All of the lyrics needed was a melody. And back home, when Reggie started reading, something magical happened. He played amazing music. Reggie wasn't very good at writing lyrics. Bernie didn't know how to write melodies, how to write tunes. But by working together, all they needed was 15 minutes and they could make the most beautiful songs. So there you go. That is the really important thing for me here. Reggie knew he wasn't very good at writing lyrics. It didn't stop him. He said, right, how can I do this? I'm really struggling to do it myself. Teamwork. And actually trying your best means that you can rely on somebody else who's really good at doing something. It might be that your friend is really good at art and you are really good at maths, so you might give each other little tips. It might be that you are really good dribbling the ball, but you can't shoot at the goal, and your friend can shoot at the goal, so you pass the ball to your friend. Okay, lots of different ways that you work together, like Reggie and Bernie work together. Now, after 2 long years of composing songs for other artists, it was time for Reggie to record his first solo album. But Reginald Kenneth wasn't the coolest name for an artist, so he changed it to Elton John. So he spent 2 years making music for other people. And one morning, Elton and Bernie wrote a song at breakfast. It was called Your Song, and it launched Elton like a rocket man from his mother's modest house to superstardom. It was his first big hit. So Your Song, it's a really cool song. Jumping on stage, dressed as Captain Fantastic, Elton became a celebrity loved by millions. He had thousands of spectacular pairs of glasses and the most amazing wardrobe a drag queen would long for. But once the show was over and the adoring crowds had left, Elton felt terribly alone. He had all he could dream of. He got money, he got a really big house, but still nothing seemed to make him happy. And everything changed when he met Ryan. Ryan was a little hero fighting in hospital. He was fighting an illness. Ryan showed him that life is too wonderful to waste it complaining. So they got on, they talked, and the day they said goodbye, Elton promised to honour his friend's memory by being his best self. And he did. He started to eat healthily, getting a good night's sleep. He started to look after himself. And then came David, the husband he'd always wanted. They built their own family, and Elton and David are now the proud fathers of 2 children. Elton was knighted by the Queen, not just for being the most successful male solo artist of all time, but also for creating a fantastic charity foundation to fight AIDS. AIDS is the disease that had taken Ryan and so many other friends. So Ryan died because he had AIDS. And that was one of the things that inspired Elton John to help other people who have AIDS, to raise all that charity money. And after a long life dedicated to music, Sir Elton John still remembers being little Reggie, the shy boy who looked for comfort sitting at his piano and ended up bringing joy and happiness to the world with his songs. There we go, guys. It's a really cool story because Elton John found things hard. He couldn't make that music on his own. He could write the music, he could play the tunes, but he couldn't put the words to it. And Bernie couldn't write the music. He had to have somebody to help him. So they realized that one and they worked together. And actually, the thing that was right the way throughout Elton John's life is that other people influenced him. He didn't do any of this on his own. So he did wonderful things. He raised money for charity, but he was inspired by that little boy who died of AIDS. And then he found happiness because he got married, he found a husband, and he was happy. So all of those things, he tried his best right the way throughout his life, and it was other people who helped him succeed. Okay? So we can try our best, but we need other people. So close your eyes for me for a minute. Close your eyes. Have a think. Something that you want to try really hard at that you might need other people for. It might be you need Mr. Bound's help to form your letters properly in your handwriting sessions. It might be that you need your coach's help in football. It might be that you need your mum and dad's help to do the dishes, to practice something, to ride your bike. It might be that you need your friend's help. It might be just a bit sad and you need your friend to listen to, or you need some people who will be your friends. We all need to try our best. We all need to try our best to help each other and to get on to make the world a better place. So let's see if we can do that. Now, in the playlist for these assembly videos, I have put the video for Your Song. So the next thing to do when you finish watching this video is to watch Elton John singing Your Song. Have a lovely time listening to it. I hope you all enjoy it. I'll see you around school. Bye-bye.